Only a true yelling madman can whisper to the fly and catch it. Attention, the following video is going to totally kick. If you enjoy any of it and or have a large please click the like button below. Enjoy. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Money Shack. It's Monday morning. I've got a lot of orders to pack today. They were rolling in over the weekend. Last week when we turned sales back on from my vacation, they were a little slow. They were a little rocky, but they definitely made up for it. We had about 30 orders today between both eBay accounts and TCG Player. So let me show you what I've got because I got to hurry up and get this stuff packed out. It's already like past 8. So I don't have very much time before mail pickup gets here. So here we go. This is the spread that came in over the weekend. I did not pull up a dollar amount because I don't have time to do that. I'm going to go through the numbers real quick. I'm assuming you guys like this. Like, this is the reason I feel like a lot of you guys watch this is you're interested in the numbers. So I'm going to go through these real quick. If this isn't something that you guys want to see, tell me, hey, skip the prices. We don't care. We got the Gyarados playmat. That's about 25 bucks. Look at that. Monopoly's selling. I can't believe it. We're going to see if we make any money after it ships. It sold for $40 plus shipping, so we should be all right. Battle style sets, we sold 2 of them. eBay, or TCG Player 125. eBay's actually doing better now. So you remember the whole thing we had the whole conversation about sometimes markets are better here and there. At the time, eBay was worse. Now they're selling for $119.25 plus shipping. So it sold for $119.25 plus $14 in shipping. This was just $125. So a little bit better on eBay now. We have a Pokemon Center exclusive ETB here, sold for $198. We got Paradox Rift Booster Bundle 1, 2, 3. Those sold for $50 a pop. Build and Battle Stadium, Brilliant Stars, couldn't think of the set name, $93. We got a Chilling Reign Build and Battle box display. That is $370. We have Fusion Strike mini portfolio. So it's just a little card binder with a single pack of Fusion Strike. I believe there's 12 of those in there in the display. That sold for $150. Then we got Astral Radiance Build and Battle box. That sold for $30. Paldea Evolve Booster Bundle, $56. A Spring Collector's Chest for $70. We got some Weiss Schwartz going out, which always makes me happy because I'm trying to just kind of move that stuff right now. Nazareth, Tomb of the Undead, and RWBY, $85, $83. That's all the TCG Player orders. No, it's not. We got 1 pack of Ancient Origins, $46. We got a Latios that sold for about $2, and a Charmander sold for about $5. Then we got some NES and SNES manuals. We got Gremlins 2 sold for $20 plus ship, so that's a very good one. Pilot Wings sold for $10 free ship. We got Jeff the Land Shark. That was my last one. I'm going to make sure that the listing is out of quantity because I think I'm done selling those. The funny thing is I paid off both of the machines now, my investment for both of the machines. So in my mind, I've just lost all momentum. Plus, like with all this other stuff that's selling at the time, I don't have time to be messing with 3D prints. So anyways, yeah, Flex, Land Shark sold. We got American Horror Story Freak Show. I picked up some Blu-rays the other day. This happened to be one of them. Just sold it for $10 free ship. Batman on NES sold for $12.89 plus shipping. Super Bomberman 2 sold for $35 plus ship. We got some Buzz controllers for the PS2. Those sold for $25. We got a Miami Dolphins, like this is one of those like plastic signs you just like hang up in your man cave. Sold for $25. We got the PlayStation Move controllers sold for $35 plus ship. And then I saved this one for last because this is a little bit of a bolo for you guys. This is just colored pencils. They sold for $25. I found like a couple boxes of these, maybe like 12, 15 bundles of these pencils, something like that. And they had like 10 cents a piece at this sweet old lady's yard sale a couple years ago. 10 cents per bundle. And I had remembered seeing these in a Bolo video on somebody else's YouTube channel. And this Eberhard Faber, if you see Eberhard Faber pencils, color pencils, look them up on eBay. Some aren't as good as others, but some of them get crazy. These sold for $15 just for a little bundle of pencils. Some of them sell, some of the other ones I already sold were like $20, $25, I think. So, you know, I paid like $1 for all these colored pencils, and I probably, you know, cleared over $100, maybe like $200 in sales. So that is a brand that you definitely need to look out for if you're doing yard sales and looking for stuff to flip on eBay. Anyways, guys, I have a lot of packing to do, so I'm going to put the phone down and try to beat the mail pickup. Good morning, good Tuesday morning. Welcome back to the shop of internet sales, the online retail extravaganza bonanza hut. We're here today, and I've got all my orders packed, and I'm ready to show you. I'm getting the boards reset for the month again, still just kind of catching up from the whole post-vacation madness, even though today's the 6th. We're 6 days into the month. I'm just now getting the board switched out. I looked over at it today and I was like, oh yeah, I got to get the boards changed over from April to May. So we'll check in on that here in a second. But yeah, like I said, got some orders. Let me show you. All right, here we go. This was actually a pretty big money day, even though quantity-wise it's a little bit less. So let's get right into it. First of all, with the Pokemon stuff, we have a Silver Tempest booster bundle, $60. We got another one of our Pikachu VMAX premium figure collections for $101.79. We've got 2 Build and Battle Stadium Fusion Strikes going for $124 a piece. Those are a nice one. We got the 3 different tins, Pikachu, Blissey, and Snorlax set going for $75. Then somebody picked up 3 of our booster boxes here of our NFL Pro Line Portrait Signet series, where you can get an autographed Bill Belichick and all that crazy stuff. O.J. Simpson, Bill Belichick, some big names in here, guys. Pretty fun stuff, on-card signatures. Those are $39.89 a piece, but I have like a save 10% if you buy more than one. The total would have been about $120, but then they saved, I think it was like 10% on buying in bulk. So that was cool. Just realized I missed one. 1 second. One of our league battle decks. So we lose a few dollars, but we're getting rid of them, so that's a good thing. Pokemon stuff. So then we got on the Pokemon eBay side, we got 2 of these really nice leather zip-up 9-pocket Ultra Pro Pikachu binders. Super nice premium product there. A buyer reached out and asked a question, wanted to make sure they weren't the ones with the elastic strap, which are still nice, but not quite as nice as these. These are the ones that zip up, and then they picked up 2 of those. Those are selling for $60 a pop, and then the other sale on our Pokemon eBay account today was this Brilliant Stars pre-release kit. I don't know if I've explained these before. They send these out to shops way before the initial product even comes out. So technically, to have access to these, you have to have a brick and mortar store. So think of your local mom and pop where you can go in and you can play Pokemon and you can buy packs and stuff like that. They're the stores that get these so they can run a tournament before the set drops to like build hype for that set. So let's say when Brilliant Stars comes out, this ships out, I think it's like a couple weeks or something before the actual street date of the product to these local Pokemon shops, and inside you get 10 of the Build and Battle boxes, 1 booster box, some energy cards, and so I don't think I've ever actually opened one of these. And so technically to have access to these, you have to have a brick and mortar store. Obviously, you guys know I don't, but back in this era, I guess they just had so many of them left over that, like, I guess the brick and mortars didn't want, that they offered them to me, and I purchased quite a bit of them back in the day, just to up my allocations. And now they're kind of a collectible thing because people realize, like, you know, you're never having a sealed pre-release kit is a fairly rare thing. Again, those are supposed to be dedicated to like brick and mortar shops and open before release. So that sold for $725 right there. So that is obviously a very good sale. Then on our main eBay account, we sold some World War II patches for $18. We sold a camera to a viewer. Shout out to Jason. Jason hit me up and asked about that, and I told him, honestly, I was like, I don't know if it works, because I don't have, like, I know nothing about vintage cameras. I don't know how to test that. And he apparently is willing to take the risk, and I hope he can get it to work. So shout out to Jason on that. He paid $25 plus shipping. That Moulin Rouge poster that I showed you guys a while back, I hung it up on the door and took photos of it, sold. So this is my first poster that I'll ship out in a tube. Kind of curious what the shipping cost on that will be. I guess I'm just going to do the length dimension, and then what, it's about 1.5 inches wide each way, so just put in the dimensions like it were a box and see what it tells me. Then we got the vintage scan board game, sold for $20, and that's it. Oh, I don't think I pointed these out too. The Charizard singles, Japanese singles, $5 for the pair. They were $2.50 a pop. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a pickup coming. As always, I got to get the phone put down and get packing. And then I'll show you guys the board once I get the May board ready. The boards are about accountability. So I gave myself the 2 goose eggs that my sorry butt deserves. $60 on the first, $17 on the fourth, $42 on the fifth. Haven't gotten anything up today so far, but as you can see, we got the boards changed over for May. Fresh board ready for some week totals at the end of the week. And yeah, $119 listed so far for the month. Again, the boards are about accountability. Even if I have some goose eggs, I'm going to get it up there. Probably not going to hit that $6,000 goal. But again, the number is a loose goal. I hit that. What did I hit that once? And then I kind of just repeated it. And I probably shouldn't have. As long as I'm getting daily listings up, I'm happy. But there it is. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the eBay Emporium. I've got a new name on the board. Colton J13 joined us in the Yelling Madman Army. Thank you so much, brother, and enjoy these videos. 24 hours exclusive. You can watch them Sunday instead of waiting until Monday. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit of insight on a lot of questions came in a while back about the air machine that I use. So let me show you some. I just got some refills. This is going to be for people who are kind of wondering if these are worth it for their business, for their setup. So I was showing you guys my machine the other day. This is how long I've been using this roll. I had 2 rolls of these. And notice I was coming to the end, so I needed to re-up. And I just got these, and these were $120-ish. There was like a 5% coupon, but then with tax, it was basically like 120, maybe it was 130. So you think $65 a piece on these, but you basically get, there's a hair on that. What? So basically these come out to like 7 cents a sheet, which a sheet is like 16 inches by 11 inches. I basically think of it as a square foot. So a lot of the packages I send out only use like 1 sheet, maybe 2. So you're talking 15 cents at the most per package is what this costs me. For my particular setup with my order size and how much fill I need based on box size and product going out. A lot of, some of my packages, a higher dollar value, might need 4, 5, 6, 10 sheets of this stuff, So you might use $1 if I go crazy and use like 10, 15 sheets on one package. So in my case, that there's enough wiggle room in my profit that to me, these make sense. But yeah, these things aren't cheap. You're talking $65 for a roll, but it all just depends on your volume and everything. For me, I'm shipping out I'm shipping out at least 50 to 100 packages a week right now. So in my mind, that that works out. If I was only shipping 5-10 orders a week, would it be worth it? Maybe not. But at the volume that I'm doing, I'm comfortable paying the price that it is for these to make sure that I have really, if you look at my feedback on eBay, it's so satisfying. People are almost always extremely happy with my shipping methods. They'll always say shipped extremely fast, very well packed, blah, blah, blah. And I love seeing that. So, to me, that's worth it. Again, if you're a lower volume seller, maybe not so much, but that's what it is. I've got my packing slips here pulled. I need to go pull all the inventory and hurry up and get packing because I do have a pickup coming today. Maybe like 12 orders today. Nothing too crazy, but let me get that stuff pulled and then I'll show you guys what we have. Just got all the orders pulled. Let me show you what we got. Here we go. Doesn't look like a whole lot, but it's pretty big monies. Pretty good day in sales. I think it's like, close to 2,500, something like that. So let's go through the money real quick. We got 3 more boxes of NFL Pro Line. I don't know what's going on with this stuff, but it's popping off right now. Maybe is something happening that I don't know about? Is some streamer opening boxes of this and pulling like auto, like Donald Trump autos or so? I don't know what's going on. But anyways, somebody ordered 3 boxes of that yesterday, and then a few hours after I packed that order, I think this order came in for another 3. Those are $40 a piece. We got another one of our beautiful Pikachu binders here for $60 plus ship. We got a battle deck here for Inteleon VMAX that sold for $20. We're losing money. Let's go. We sold another one of our Miraidon EX League battle decks. These also, right now, I don't know what's going on with the market. Pokemon is spiking even heavier. I looked at the 30-day market trend. Let me show you. Let me show you what's going on, actually. All right, so just to gauge, I mean, the price of a booster box essentially inflates the price of every product in that set. So we're looking at that here now. This is Battle Styles, arguably the weakest set of Sword and Shield, but even this over the last, like if you look at the 3 months, decent uptick here, but the last month especially, you've got this real sharp upturn here. Battle Styles for the last 30 days is up 5%, which is notable, but you know, 5% is 5%, it's whatever. But for Battle Styles, that's pretty awesome. Then you look at stuff like Brilliant Stars, and 3 months, again, we're moving up. But this last month especially, I mean, we're up almost 12% on Brilliant Stars for a booster box right now. And then you look at Fusion Strike. That's what we've got over here. We've got 2 pre-release kits for Fusion Strike that just sold. This stuff is up 22%. So it had a gradual, it was definitely trending upward. But as you can see, over 3 months, it's only up 26%. And just the last 30 days, and you can even tell, I mean, that's not even 30 days. That's since the end of April. End of April, it was 487. Now it's up 580. So there is a massive swing going on in the Fusion Strike, or in the Sword and Shield block right now. I was selling booster boxes there for a while from Sword and Shield, just kind of stuff that I had like that wasn't in a sealed case. I just had some loose booster boxes laying around, so I was getting them listed up on TCG Player, and I hadn't done that in a few weeks. And then all of a sudden, I was like, why are my pre-release kits just selling like crazy? Because I've had these listed for quite a while. My light's not on. Oh, look! Lighting! So much better. Yeah, I've had these listed for quite a while, and one would sell every once in a while, but for 3 to sell in the same day, and I shipped one out yesterday, I was like, something's going on, so I started looking at the Sword and Shield market, and that's when I discovered that. So there is a massive uptick in Sword and Shield right now, which I don't really, I mean, nothing really other than, like, you've got the Team Rocket set about to come out, but why that would make Sword and Shield spike like this is... I don't know. It's kind of weird, man, but keep an eye on it if you're a Pokemon seller. There's definitely some moves going on in the market right now. Some big upticks. So we have, this is our Battle Styles pre-release kit, which I explained what a pre-release kit was yesterday. And it went for $445. And then we have 2 of our Fusion Strikes. So I actually have more of these in stock. I only had 2 listed. So my listing is sold out right now. And that's kind of the reason I do that. I don't list my entire stock to get wiped out in a day. I'd rather trickle sell them whenever somehow the market just spikes 20-some% all of a sudden in a week. Now I can readjust my pricing for the remainder of the product because the Pokemon market is far too volatile, far too wild. So I had these listed at $879.89. I was the cheapest price on eBay at the time. I haven't checked the market now, but I mean, you saw I checked the TCG Player market on booster boxes, but I haven't checked this specific product and what other listings are doing on eBay right now. But had 2 of them listed for $880, and those sold in the same day again. So I'm sold out on those for right now, and I'm gonna take a look at the price and decide if I want to list more or whatever and go from there. Then we got, oh, I already showed that. We have a media remote. Basically, anytime I'm at a yard sale, I just take a chance because usually people have a box of remotes and they'll say $1 for all of them, or they'll want 25 cents a remote or whatever. If it looks like a decent remote for like a good brand that I think, I don't know, if I just get a good feeling about it, I might pay $1. But generally, I don't spend more than $1 on a remote. But I pick them up anytime I can. Half the time you open the battery compartment and they're all, corroded and nasty. Make sure you check the battery departments before you pick them up. This one's not too crazy, but sometimes you will get like a $20, $30, $40 remote. This one sold for $10, free ship. We have a single here going out for about $4.50. We have a Stitch Experiment 626 Scentsy bag. Probably because the movie or is it coming out? It's not out yet. It's coming out very soon though. So there's all kinds of Stitch advertising and stuff going on right now. That sold for $20. Our last 3 Alien action figures, we did it. They're gone. All the Alien action figures are gone. Only the boxed vehicles, if you guys remember those, remain. So those, I listed them what I thought was a little bit high too, to be honest. I listed them a little bit high, thinking if they sit till Christmas, oh well, I don't need to move this stuff fast necessarily. I want to make sure I get the price that's fair, that I feel like is reasonable out of them. And they've all sold. So I guess I still maybe underpriced them a little bit, but then at the same time, I'm happy to move them, happy to get them to owners that are going to love them, and happy to get some money back in the bank. So then we had a lot of PJ Masks. This came from the Big Buy, I believe, and I put a whole bunch of stuff together and just put $28 on it, I think. Got a message this morning, asked if I'd take 20. I was like, I'll take 24. Shot an offer, they accepted, so that sold for 24. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I almost fell there. Jesus. That's it. I got to get off the phone as per usual. I have a pickup coming anytime now, and I've got to pack this stuff before she beats me here. That's a wrap for Wednesday. $50 in listings. I don't think I did this yesterday, so $30 in listings yesterday. $199 for the month so far. One of the reasons my totals are so low for the daily listings right now is I got a whole bunch of listings. I decided that big stack of like SNES and NES manuals, and there was a couple Nintendo 64 and stuff like that, just manuals that I showed you guys a while back. I figured those would be perfect drafts for whenever I went on that trip to Roswell. So I got like almost 30 drafts, I think, done Friday before we hit the road. And then I realized with my inventory paused, why would I be putting up daily listings? So I just didn't list while we were in Roswell. And then now that I'm back, my kids are in the like final weeks of school, and one of them just started baseball, so practices and games, and having to mow the lawn again, and it's been raining like crazy, so I have to mow like twice a week almost. It's just been crazy, and I mow a pretty big section of lawn, so it takes me a little while. But anyways, with stuff being so crazy, I've just been kind of like surviving off of those drafts that I didn't use while I was in Roswell. And so they're, the manuals are, a lot of them are like $10. Some of them are $15, $20, some of them a little bit more, but the bulk of them are like $10 to $15. So that's why the totals for the month have been so low. But we're getting listings up, and we're still getting sales, and that's all that I care about, as long as the sales are still happening. Obviously, I'd like to be listing better inventory, but for right now, it's going to have to do while we're busy. So anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, so I'm still pulling orders for this morning to do my normal, like, here's everything we sold, and I just had to share this real quick. So I just listed and immediately sold this morning a booster box of Fusion Strike. Sword and Shield, Fusion Strike, an amazing set that is going absolutely insane in the market right now. If any of you guys have anything sealed Fusion Strike right now, you might want to check the market and evaluate whether or not you want to leave it in your collection or maybe offload it right now, because the market's just going insane. I'm not saying it's the top of the market. Good chance it's going to go even higher. I could see Fusion Strike going to $1,000 a box. But anyways, I listed this and it sold in minutes, just a few minutes ago. $740. And one of the reasons that I turned the camera on is because I went to go get a box to fulfill this order, and I was like, oh, I think I know where a case is. Over by my gaming computer, I think I've got a case in my little personal stash. And I went over there and looked, and I found this case, and I could tell when I picked it up it was a partial case because it was light and the stop tape was broken. But anyways, I opened it up and saw this invoice in here, so this isn't even from distribution. I bought this on the open market. This just shows how crazy the Pokemon market is. At one point, the market was selling these at $88.58, and then apparently I bought enough where shipping was free. I got these at $88 a piece, which is really, really, really close to wholesale distribution price. That's what the market was at the time. That's insane to me. Let me look at the date without showing you guys. Order date was December 27th, 2021. Here we are, 4 years later, and something I bought for $88 just sold for $740. It's mind-blowing, some of the stuff that happens in the Pokemon market. All right, I just had to show you guys that real quick. Welcome back to the Pokemon Emporium of Shed Happiness. Today, we are breaking records. We have a record-breaking sales day on TCG Player, and definitely the week, too. I think both. I think we've hit a day sales record and a week sales record. Let me show you what we've got. It's a lot, over $5,000 just on TCG Player. But on the main eBay account, goose egg. Goose egg. One order on the Pokemon eBay account, goose egg on the main, record-breaking, over $5,000 in sales on TCG Player. So here's the spread, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, this giant spike in the market, I'm taking advantage. I listed some of my Sword and Shield era booster box inventory, and everything I listed has sold, minus one more. I have one more box of Fusion Strike listed. Fusion Strike blowing my mind at $740. So anyways, here we go. We've got our case of Paldean Fates. I've had these listed for quite a while. I was getting a little frustrated. I had to keep adjusting the price by a few cents here and there to be the bottom of the market. And anyways, finally sold $1,314. We had 3 of our Fusion Strike mini portfolios. You guys have been seeing these sell. Somebody bought the last 3 that were on the listing for $150 a pop, so we got a $450 order there. And then checking the market, since these guys are selling for $740, the price per pack, there's 36 packs in here. I evaluated these at a closer to like $250 cost if you're just going price of pack based on what the going rate for booster boxes is. So I went ahead and updated. I have quite a bit more of these. So I went ahead and listed these, or I put 3 more on the live quantity, and I changed the price up from $150 to $225. So hopefully those will sell at the new price. We'll see. Build and Battle Fusion Strike display. Are you seeing a trend here? Fusion Strike is just going to the moon. It's insane. $539 for a Build and Battle display box. So I think there's 10 displays of Build and Battle boxes in, what did I just say? There's 10 Build and Battle boxes per display is what I'm trying to say. Two losses here. We lose a little bit of money, right? We buy these for like $16. They sell for like $18. After fees and shipping, we're losing money for sure. But do you understand? Are you kind of getting a picture of like what the game is here? I bought this for $80 in 2021. It just sold for $740. So the profit in that eats up the loss here. Like, we don't care about this because that just happened. Just this, not to mention all this, right? So my wholesale cost on Sword and Shield products was in the $80 range, sub 90, right? There might have been some price hikes here and there. I might have paid a little closer to 90, but from $80 to $90. 2 Brilliant Stars booster boxes in the same order here went for $797.98. One booster box on its own went for $398.99. Battle Styles coming in at $197.84 a pop. So the subtotal for the 2 here in one order came to $395. A single box, $197. 2 boxes, 2 individual orders of Chilling Reign, $386 a box. So again, record-breaking day, probably going to be a definitely going to be a record-breaking week. There it is. I got to get to packing. As you guys know, the mail pickup is on its way. Oh, Didn't see you there. I was just hanging out with the boys. Welcome back to the shop. It's Friday morning. We've got some orders to pack out here, and I'm going to show you what we've got. I love seeing stuff that recently came in going out, and you guys may recognize the lamp. We found at a yard sale, what was that, 2 weeks ago? 2 weekends ago? Coincidentally, the same weekend we found Ratatouille. I think I paid $1 for it, and I paid $5 for the lamp. So let's start there. We got $47.89 plus $8 shipping on the lamp. And Ratatouille, we got $19.89. Did we do shipping? No, so just $20 even. But we paid $1, paid $5, got 50 plus ship, 20 free ship. So some decent profits there. Happy with that. The one other eBay sale was the Beavis and Butthead instruction manual, sold for $9 plus $5 ship. So pretty decent stuff there. And then the TCG player sales are as follows. So we got no crazy amounts of money today, but still a really decent day of sales. We got 2 of our Dragonite V-Star Premier Deck. What are these things called? Premier Deck Holder Collection Dragonite V-Star. These things have like 9 packs in them, so the wholesale cost was actually pretty expensive on them, and no one really cares right now. They're finally starting to pick back up, and they just take up too much space. I've got a lot of them, so we're trying to get them out of here. $50 a piece on those. The Brilliant Stars Build and Battle Stadiums are starting to move a little bit. Those are, right now, I've got $93 a piece on those. Selling some more Weiss Schwartz. I'm trying to just move a bunch of my Weiss Schwartz right now. I'm not so confident in the longevity of this product. It'll probably get a little bit better, but I don't think it's got the potential that Pokemon does, so I'd rather move it and get more Pokemon in the space that it's taking up, if that makes sense. So yeah, we got 60, looks like $70 on that. Paldea Evolved Build and Battle went for $39. We got some singles. 2 singles here totaling like $2.35. I don't know if I've explained these before. Basically, anything over $1. I've started, as I list more recently, I'm changing my rule generally closer to $2 and above. I used to be $1 and above, just because in my mind, it does charge shipping on top of these. It doesn't show it on the little invoice sheets. In my mind, if it's in the $2 and above range, it's enough to cover the cost of the envelope that I send it out in, and then I just put a stamp on it and print out their address on a shipping label. And it's more of a feedback builder, right? Like with eBay, it's all about how much feedback is next to your profile, and if that feedback is positive. And with TCG Player, it's similar. It's more just number of sales. So every little one of these dollar sales, in my mind, just builds legitimacy on my profile, on my seller account. I'm not so worried about like the 37 cents I'm going to profit on that card, obviously. It's just enough to cover, you know, the team bag, the sleeves, the top loader, the envelope. And like I said, I'm just establishing my account as a more reputable seller on TCG Player. So that's kind of where my mind is on selling these low number singles. This one is 5 cards totaling about $7. And then we have a box of, what are these exactly? Are they just sleeves? These say sleeves, but they're for thick cards. 130 point standard size cards. Are these the ones? Yeah, they're just thick card sleeves. Okay, I was trying to figure out if these, because everybody names them a little bit different, so I was wondering if this was like Beckett's equivalent of a team bag type thing. But nope, just 130 points. So like the big thick jersey cards that you get with sports and stuff like that, these sleeves are meant for those. Somebody bought a box of 1,500 individual sleeves for $30 there. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing too crazy. All relatively easy pack jobs, minus the lamp, obviously, so I'll probably start with that first and try to beat the mail. Also, I know I've been neglecting the listing board. I will update that at the end of today. The numbers aren't impressive, but I will, after I get these orders out, I'll show you guys what I got listed for the 8th and the 9th. They updated the board, okay? Get off my back, chat. Dude, jeez. $45 yesterday, $120 in listings today. I erased the goal. I did. I caved. I erased the goal. Seeing that $6,000 there with goose eggs right next to it. Just, it was hurting my soul. So under goal, I just have wrote down list. That's all I just need to list. The goal per day. Here's the thing. I don't think when I started that it was good. I was primarily focusing on eBay. And as you guys know, and I've explained throughout these videos, when I was like catching you up on my past and like business to business and how I kind of prioritize things, I follow the money. Let's be honest. With TCG Player not really being a focus, I just kind of started like, well, if I'm doing eBay, I should like start listing some eBay, and Pokemon being on the rise, and it's just kind of like looking at the numbers of TCG Player, I'm like, okay, I'm still going to keep up with eBay, but TCG Player is obviously really booming right now with Pokemon sales. So I'm kind of I'm not even saying focusing on that. I'm just like making sure it's also a priority. So with bringing TCG Player into the mix more, it's hard to keep up with as much eBay. It's taking more bandwidth, right? Like everything, I only have X amount of bandwidth I can put out every day, and right now it's, you know, with what's going on with the Pokemon, I need to make sure I'm keeping up with that. So the numbers per day on our normal eBay, less important. Does that make sense? I don't know, I just rambled a lot. But that's kind of where my head is. I'm really excited to see what we're about to put on the May sales. I got to wait until Sunday morning for all of... I always take Sunday to Saturday. So I have to wait until Sunday morning to put like the true numbers for the week. But I'm excited to see what we did for the first week of May. I think it's going to be pretty crazy. That should be like the next thing you guys see. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. So I forgot that the first 3 days of the month I didn't count as a week because that just felt weird to me. So I marked it over here on the side. The May 1st through 3rd sales were as follows. eBay $273, eBay the Pokemon account $350, and the TCG Player account $1,115 in just 3 days. Pretty good start to the month there. Very happy with that. But as we back out here, you guys are going to see some mind-blowing numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, a record-breaking week and potentially on track for a record-breaking month. $598 on our eBay account, $5,183 on our Pokemon eBay account, and over $10,000 in sales on TCG Player for week 1. $10,875 TCG Player for the week. $16,656 for the week. And with those 3 days added, already for the month of May, we're at $18,394 in sales. That's just wild. Absolutely wild to look at week 2, 3, and 4 here with nothing in it yet and already having that number on the board. Super happy with that, obviously. Thank you again so much for all the support on these videos. I love showing you guys kind of the behind the scenes and how it all works and how it all shakes out. And the support, you know, the support on these videos definitely contributes to that number. Even if it's just a little bit. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you next week.